Today's episode of the BS Podcast with Michael Rapaport is brought to you by SeatGeek. That's our presenting sponsor and the only fan-friendly app for buying and selling tickets for sports and music. You knew that already. With just 2 taps on your phone, you can instantly buy SeatGeek tickets to an event and have them delivered to your phone, and you can enter the event with your phone. Technology, it's amazing. Drop your old ticket app, use one that's built for 2016, download the free SeatGeek app, or go to SeatGeek.com. Today's episode also brought to you by Stamps.com, our old friend. Stop relying on the post office. Just buy and print official U.S. postage using your own computer and printer. Sign up for Stamps.com right now. Use the promo code BS for a 4-week trial, plus a $110 bonus offer that includes postage and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in BS. Stamps.com. We're also brought to you by TheRinger.com, the Ringer Podcast Network. We're up to 8 feeds, and my new HBO show, Any Given Wednesday. We're off this week. We're off next week, coming back on September 7th with a new episode. You can watch the first 8 episodes and every bonus clip on HBO Now, HBO Go, and HBO On Demand. We have Michael Rapaport coming up, and you know what that means. If you are driving your kids to school, or if you're in a car on a family trip, maybe this isn't the podcast to listen to. He's been known to drop a few F-bombs and say some inappropriate things. Everyone else, by all means, start listening. We might have broken the swear record for this one. Check it out right now. Here we go.
Yeah. Clear enough for you? All right. Yeah.
It's been a while. I don't know what took so long. Michael Rapaport. Haven't seen you since we tried Deflategate. I won. Boston Sports beats New York Sports again. We did it on episode, I think, 5 of Any Given Wednesday.
Monumental. Award-winning content.
Monumental. We had to edit out your Aaron Hernandez jokes. Just
That
felt like
makes
they were a little
sense.
inappropriate. I mean, he did murder 2 people.
Right, you got to have compassion
Holding
for
a
the families.
holding a big photo of Aaron Hernandez probably
I understood
had to
that.
come out. But I think for the most part, the edits reflected the debate.
I think that was, I got to be honest, I hate myself.
Yeah.
Okay? I laughed at that skit.
I'm
I
glad.
literally laughed at that skit.
It was 7 minutes.
I didn't laugh the whole 7 minutes. I'm not going to say that. But I made myself laugh, and I can't stand myself.
Yeah.
So I thought it was fantastic. As you can attest, we shot for, I think, you said it was an hour and a half.
It was at least 2 hours.
It was at least 2 hours. And Judge Joe Brown was fantastic. Went a little bit off script. There was no script, but he went a little...
He might have inserted himself into the proceedings in a way that made the edit a little tougher than we expected.
Yes, but it was fantastic.
He had a high usage rate.
High usage rate.
Unprepared for Judge Joe Brown's usage rate.
Yes.
I just thought he was there to set some picks.
That's it. I need you to set a couple of picks.
Yeah,
roll
grab
every
a
now and then,
rebound.
I'll feed you, but pick and pop, but I'm probably going to shoot Judge Joe Brown. But it was...
Judge Joe Brown was like Dan Waiters.
Judge
He had
Joe
his
Brown,
hand up.
yeah.
He's like, you guys done with your comedy sketch yet? I have some thoughts.
You're going on and on and on. But he was great. It was
He was great.
fantastic.
It was
I love
fun.
doing it. And like I told you, people have come up to me and talked to me about that, whether they agree with me, disagree with me. The people got such a kick out of that skit.
Well, what happened, I'm glad that...
We're talking about the show. Any Given Wednesday. We can't assume that just because they're watching The Ringer, they've seen any...
Great assumption. You're right.
Right? We can't assume that.
But the problem is, I felt like we did content together, but what we didn't do is talk about the summer of the NBA.
No.
And I looked it up, and you haven't been on my podcast, I don't think, since round 3 or round 4 of the playoffs.
Yes.
And there's a lot of meat on the bone. Might as well start with the Knicks.
What about us? I could tell you what's happening.
It's a very different Knicks team since the last time I saw you.
Yes, that's
And
right.
The Knicks fans are in 2 camps. They're either in the, I don't know why we're pretending we're a contender camp. We should have traded Carmelo. We should be building around Porzingis and picks and trying to build for next decade. The other camp is kind of like, well, Derrick Rose contract year. Carmelo's in great shape. Joakim Noah changed the scenery.
Kusamangas Mubadingas.
Yeah,
What's
that
his
guy.
name?
Which guy?
Kusamangas.
Willie Hernan Gomez?
Hernan Gomez and Kusamangas Singadingas.
Kusamangas.
We call him Cuzzy.
Where's he from?
Lithuania.
Well, is another Latvian gangbanger?
No, wait, no,
Latvian
he's not. Wait, it's Latvia. Latvian is Porzingis.
Latvia.
Do you
Well,
not
you
even
call it Latvia?
Wait, I get confused. Latvia is Porzingis.
Latvia.
Lithuanian, we call him the Lithuanian launcher, Kusamungas. He's kicking ass.
So you have the Lithuanian launcher and you have the Latvian gangbanger.
That's it.
That's great.
And Hernan Gomez is the last name I've never heard of. It can't just be Gomez. The Hernan Gomez, no disrespect, but it makes it something. It makes it hard for me to pronounce it. It's Hernan Gomez.
What's his first name? Willie?
Willie.
Just call him Willie.
Yeah,
he's
or like
Willie.
Nene, just Willie. Because
you have a good history with Willie. Willie was in Beautiful Girls.
Willie was in Beautiful Girls. Willie Randolph.
Yeah, good. Well, there's been some good Willies.
Listen, I'm telling you right now.
Oh, so it sounds like you're in camp 2.
I am in camp, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm in camp.
Camp 2.
Oh yeah, I'm in the other camp.
You're not in the cynical, skeptical. What are we doing?
I've done
Why
that
are we
too
chasing
much.
a 5-seed camp?
I grew an ulcer doing that.
Yeah.
I've learned to let go and appreciate what the Knicks are. Number one, I love the fact that Derrick Rose is bringing the fight to the press. He is a quote machine.
He really is.
First of all, we're one of the super teams.
Yeah.
Second of all,
who knew?
We could win all 82 games.
Who knew that was possible?
But we haven't had a quote machine like this in years. And I think people are misunderstanding, like, he's fucking nuts. He is bringing the fight to the New York press.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to come for me. I'm going to give this to you and confuse you. He's in Seoul, Korea. That's where he made this latest comment that we could win all 82 games.
Why is he in Seoul, Korea?
He's doing the fucking Derrick Rose World Tour.
For what? Who's the tour for?
I don't know, but he's doing the Derrick Rose World Tour. I don't know if he's hopped up on absinthe or whatever he's doing over there, but I like that he's bringing the fight to the New York press. You can't lay dormant and let them sort of create stories. He's giving them the fucking stories. So that's number one. Number two, Noah will now be the spokesperson for the Knicks. Okay? Melo is
but wait, Carmelo's the spokesperson for America.
Yeah, I got
So does that mean he's too big for the Knicks?
No.
Like he's got to hand off the Knicks spokesman to Joakim?
Let me explain this to you.
Okay.
Carmelo Anthony looks the part, but I think at the end of the day, Carmelo Anthony, my vibe about Carmelo is that he's a shy, laid-back dude. He's good looking. His name's Melo. He's got a cool name and all that stuff. But I don't think he genuinely feels comfortable. He does it good. He smiles and all that stuff. But I don't think he really goes out of his way to speak to the press. Noah is comfortable with it. He's a New Yorker. He's excited to be there. It's a revitalization. Remember
You're claiming him as a New Yorker?
He's from New York. He's French, but he grew up in New York.
I thought
What is he, French?
He's French, but he grew up in New York?
No, didn't he play?
I thought he was just French.
No. He played, but I think he went to high school in New York. He claims Harlem. Like a lot of his time, I think it was split. His father, I don't want to jump the gun on Coxman. I don't want to jump the gun.
Okay.
That's an underrated stick man.
Not underrated.
Yo,
I think he's properly rated.
He got it in.
Yeah.
There's some great stick men.
Yeah, we'll do that
from
later.
Tennis in the 80s.
Save that
Garolitis, the late great. McEnroe, married, but he got it in. The French guy, Roscoe Tanner, known for a big serve and a big loaf. Putting it down.
First of all, Connors married the Playboy Playmate of the Year, Patty McGuire.
Coxman.
I would say Gerolitis, though, was such an incredible coxman. Stickman. Such an incredible stickman that he actually derailed his career.
Absolutely.
He was drugs, Studio 54.
Right.
Ladies.
Yup.
More drugs.
Yup.
Fast cars.
Yup.
And like his friends, like I always thought it would be an interesting documentary.
That sounds like a film.
Maybe that's your next documentary. Do it with HBO.
Yes.
We just came up with an
the
idea.
Venus Gerolitis story.
All-time coxman.
All time. I wanted to at least get 30 minutes into this before I knew we were going to get derailed.
We'll shove it. It's a little appetizer.
I got a stick man.
It's an
surprise.
appetizer.
It's a little appetizer.
Oh, it's a surprise stick man.
I got a surprise for you. I'm going to show you something you're going to get a kick out of. So anyway.
Don't sleep on Joakim in this conversation.
In terms of what? Coxman?
Stick man.
Fantastic stick man.
To the point that there's a little buzz in the NBA circles. Maybe not a great idea for him to be in New York.
No, he got it under control.
You sure?
Yeah. He learned from one of the best. It's the lineage. He knows how to keep it under control.
All right.
You don't think things were going out in Chicago?
Well,
I heard he lives in the suburbs.
I think New York, it's a lot easier.
He'll be all right. He's older. If it had been when he first got drafted, it would have been a problem. He's good. He's ready to go.
Put it this way. There's a reason he did not sign with Oklahoma City or Memphis or San Antonio.
There's nothing out there for him.
He wanted to be in a big city.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's nothing out there for him. But I'm not worried about him getting out of control with that.
Okay.
So I think he'll be the default spokesperson for the Knicks. Okay. Same way Latrell Sprewell was the default spokesperson for the Knicks during his tenure for the 90s. The press always used to go to him, not Pat, not Mr. Personality, Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, how is he not a coach with his dynamic personality?
Have we talked about him not being a coach? How
you know what?
fucked up is it that Patrick... You don't think that Patrick Ewing... Check this out.
I don't think Patrick Ewing should be a coach.
Check this out.
A head coach.
Check this out. Let me break this down to you. The Sacramento Kings, if they brought Patrick Ewing in as a head coach and he taught DeMarcus Cousins at least how to snarl instead of looking like a fucking baby with Kleenex in his socks. Have you ever seen a 280-pound, 7-foot guy look like he's about to cry more than DeMarcus Cousins?
It's not. He does have one face that I think.
Like, yo, you're 280 pounds. You're 7 feet. Man the fuck up. If Patrick Ewing just taught him how to snarl and scowl, that would be worth hiring him as a head coach at least for 1 year.
That sounds like an assistant coach to me.
No, he deserves a coaching job. Michael Jordan is playing a sick joke on Patrick Ewing by stuffing him.
Do you think Kareem deserves a coaching job?
He did. Now I think he's over the hill. I think he has dealing with health problems. I think he did. I know these guys weren't Mr. Personality. I know they were low-key.
But part of being a coach is you're dealing with the press. You're a babysitter for the guys.
Patrick was better than Kareem.
I would say Patrick was a better candidate. Kareem being a head coach is an absurd notion.
Yes, but
flat out absurd.
I agree, but I feel like, okay, Earl Watson has an extension with the Phoenix Suns. Jock Vaughn was a fucking head coach, and you can't give Patrick Ewing. Sacramento, what do you have to lose?
How about Scott Skiles just gave up?
Right, he just
did it for years.
I'm done. I'm gonna go back to Indiana and drink beers. Right, that's what I played.
With Larry Bird.
Yeah, I'm gonna just chill and drink beers. I played ball with Scott Skiles once.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, when he in the summer league, after he got out of Michigan State, there's that summer league. I think it was the Pro-Am or whatever. I played pickup games with Scott Skiles the year he got drafted. He was ready to fight people. This is before his game.
Yeah.
Drinking beers in between the games. He's no joke. But he said, fuck it. But I feel like as far as Pat Ewing, it would be worth the price of admission. It would be worth his coaching job for 1 year to teach DeMarcus Cousins to stop being such a fucking big baby. The thing about
Can you hold this thought? Because I want to do Dream Team in a little bit.
Go ahead.
But you're talking about spokesman.
Yeah, spokesman.
And we're talking about, you said Latrell Sprewell.
Yes.
Was the spokesman for the Knicks, which is true.
Yes.
It's amazing that Latrell Sprewell was the spokesman of anything.
I know.
But he was very good at it.
Very good at it.
I agree. He was a great interview. He was
great
thoughtful.
Interview. Thoughtful, articulate, giving to the press. You have to be giving. You can't be reluctant. It can't be like a sledgehammer. Like your guy, Mr. Reluctance, Bill Belichick.
Right.
And I'm going to ask you
I like that strategy, though.
What?
He owns it. He doesn't want to say anything, so he's just a dick the whole time.
Exactly.
At least he is who he is. By the way, Popovich does the exact same thing. Everyone's like, "Oh, that Pop! Oh."
But he's not as bad.
He's just as bad.
No,
what are you talking
he's not.
about?
Every now and then he breaks. Every now and then he breaks character.
So does Belichick.
When I've never seen him.
There's a whole NFL Films documentary where Belichick lets us behind the curtain and we get to see him do Belichick things.
Yeah, but do we see him do Belichick things? Like the thing about Belichick that I can't stand is every question that every single reporter always asks, it's always a bad one. Can you please?
I agree. I think he's right.
Every question?
They're all terrible.
Come on, man. I mean, I think it's so rude and disrespectful. It'd be like this. If you have me come on your podcast and you're like, ask me a question, ask me about beautiful girls. So ask me about anything.
Are we going to talk?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah,
great set.
Yeah.
Well, I probably wouldn't have you on my podcast at that point.
Right. That's what Bill Belichick. It's like, come on, man. These are real professionals here. Every question isn't bad. I think it's so rude and disrespectful. I mean, he does it when they win or they lose. Give a fucking guy a break. I would ask you, I'll fly myself there. If you could give me a press pass, I will go and ask this fucking guy questions, and I'll ask him straight question. And when he mumbles, I'm going to be like, what the fuck, asshole? That's a straightforward question. I want a straightforward answer. And then they'll say, you can't say that. And I'm going to be like, raise my hand again, because that's what I was taught in school, and ask him again. And then I want to challenge him to answer a question.
He'd probably disarm you by complimenting one of your movies. That'd be my guess. I was just watching Copland the other night.
Charmed me to death, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have that charm in him, Bill.
Whatever happened to what was your character in Copland?
Superboy.
Whatever happened to Superboy? What do you think he's doing now? Like, he'd do something that would disarm you and you would be like putty in his hands.
You see, this goes to show how Boston swayed you are. You just said charm and Bill Belichick in the same sentence.
Well, he's a charming man.
No, Popovich would do that. Popovich would charm. Bill Belichick, he doesn't have it in him. I've never seen him do it on the podium after games. I think it's rude. It's fucking rude. Not every single question is a bad question,
I think
Belichick.
you might be right, because like the difference between them is when Craig Sager's son did the sideline thing, Popovich was very gracious and awesome and sold it and did the whole thing. I think Belichick would have been an asshole to Craig Sager's son.
Yeah,
like,
he
who
doesn't
the
give a
fuck is
shit.
this guy? He's not a real reporter.
Right, exactly.
He would have been a dick
Yeah,
to him.
your dad's not feeling good. I don't give a shit.
So his son gets to do this?
Yeah,
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you got
I'm
a
gonna give you a shitty
ponytail,
answer.
right? Yeah. Because Sager's son had the pony. Yeah, he would have just been like, "Who's this?"
Who's this poser?
But so anyway, so I'm behind the Knicks. I'm
Yeah.
predicting a 5th seed.
Okay.
I'm predicting
So
coach of the year.
who are the 4 teams ahead of you?
Cleveland,
Yeah.
Boston,
Thank you.
Indiana.
Okay.
Who else is there?
I think you can get to a 3 seed.
I mean, if all things are
I think you can get to a 3 seed. I think you can get to a 13 seed.
yeah, well, either way. But who's the other one? It's Cleveland, Indiana, Boston.
The people like Detroit.
Detroit's good.
Detroit's getting some momentum. Atlanta's still lingering. The Dwight Howard thing. We should talk about that at some point.
He keeps posting photographs. He keeps posting video of him shooting every day. Dwight,
rebound and block shots.
Yeah.
That's why God created you.
Yeah,
rebound
I don't
and
need
block
you.
shots. Nobody
You're
wants you
working
to
on your
shoot.
elbow jump shot.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. If you improve your free throws, that's cool. But why do I need to see that? Like did De Niro, did he show you eating donuts? Do your fucking job. You know what I mean? Just do your fucking job.
Right.
That's it. I don't need to see you posting his friends screaming in his ear when he's you wanted somebody let me scream in your ear and see if you can make some free throws. Why the fuck are you smiling so much? Can you list off this is what I say to Dwight Howard to make sure he's improved his free throws. Okay, he has the ball, you give him the ball. Okay, name all your children's baby mamas. Go, shoot the free throw. That's what you do.
Oh, he says all of them as he shoots, how Karl Malone used to whisper something?
Exactly, but that's how, can you name them all? Shoot the free throw. Name all your children's baby mamas.
That's funny. I told my daughter when she takes penalty kicks.
Yes.
To relax her.
Yes.
So she's not thinking about them, to say every dog that we've had. So we've had 4 dogs. So now she does it when she needs to regroup.
That's cool.
She says the 4. So if Dwight Howard did that, he'd have. We've only had 4 dogs. I mean, I don't know how many kids he's up to. It's like 7 or 8. Might be more.
Is it 11?
I don't know. However many, but if he's rattling that off, by the time he gets to the 7th or the 8th, he's very peaceful at that point.
He's peaceful. He's angry.
Because he's trying to remember. He's like, is it
Tanisha
Omar or
I don't know. And then it's
there's a Bob.
Yeah, and then on the set, if he makes the first one, then name all your kids. I fuck with Dwight. I love Dwight. I want to see him do good. Atlanta's.
I'm with you. I was thinking about Dwight. He's at no point in his career has he ever played with a decent point guard.
What about
Jameer Nelson's the best.
Right. In Orlando, right?
Right.
I think
So
that
the
was
entire
when
Orlando
Jameer was
time,
good.
and Jameer was not
not
quite an
great.
all-star, but you could compete with him.
Right.
But I don't think he was Chris Paul.
No.
Obviously he's not even next level. He was 2 levels between him and the Chris Paul, Darren Williams types at the time.
Right.
Then he goes to the Lakers. Steve Nash breaks down in 5 minutes.
That was a mess.
Then he goes to Houston.
That was a fucking mess.
And he's with James Harden, who's just 1-on-5, and that was a bad situation too. So with him and Schroeder.
Yeah.
Maybe get some fast break points he didn't normally get.
That's true.
I just think and this goes back. I want to talk to you about the Dream Team too. I don't want to lose track of the
Dream
Knicks.
team. This was a dream team.
Yeah.
They're still
I call
calling
the
Dream-
Olympics the Dream Team.
Fucking Dream
This
Team.
is the nap team.
Yeah.
But I think there's real value in just having a quarterback.
I agree.
And I don't think Dennis Schroeder. I don't think he's an official full-fledged quarterback, but he's at least better than playing with Patrick Beverley and James Harden.
Anything is better than playing with James Harden. Any fucking thing.
How many years did you play hoops? 30?
Me?
Yeah.
30, 28.
Rule of the big guy. Take care of the big guy.
Gotta feed the beast.
Big guy's got to run. If we want the big guy to run, he's got to get the ball. If the big guy gets a rebound, he takes off down court, he doesn't get the ball, stops running.
Big guy stops running.
That's what happened to Dwight Howard in Houston. Now, physically, is he breaking down? I don't know.
He's slowing down, but I mean, he still looks. I mean, he could still run. He could still jump. I mean, his offensive skills are. They've never gotten that
Doesn't
good.
have them. But like with the Clippers, the Clippers with DeAndre Jordan, Doc Rivers, smartest thing he did with the job. He did a lot of dumb things. This was smart. Goes to DeAndre Jordan. He's like, we're not running plays for you.
Right.
You're not an offensive player.
Right.
I want you to rebound, I want you to block shots, and you're going to make All-NBA.
Right.
If you do those two things, stay out of the way, roll to the basket every once in a while, that's it. Nobody's ever had that conversation with Dwight. They just cut him out of the offense, and then he gets bitter about it.
Right. And no, I hear you. I agree. I think he's still physically gifted. I think he's more than most.
Yeah.
And I would like to see him do well. I like Dwight Howard, and I feel like,
you like Dwight Howard?
I do like Dwight Howard. I feel like his personality. The one thing about Dwight Howard that's always bothered me is that he's not mean. You gotta fucking be mean if you're a big man.
Be nasty.
You have to have that in you. You could bullshit around and put your capes on and be friendly. Like Shaq was that, but on the court, he was a fucking. He was so mean. Like no one fucked with Shaq. And also, like the thing about DeMarcus Cousins, like you don't have to try to be a bully. You could be mean. Like Shaq. The thing about Shaq to me that the modern day big man, he epitomized it so much, is that he wasn't even a bully. Like he'd bully ball you, but you never see him getting in people's faces because it was just like this is what. It's total domination.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If Shaq was more of a bully, the league would have been in trouble.
Right. If he was a meaner person.
He laid back. He only got mad a couple times during the 15, 16 years he played.
I agree. And I think like when you're truly dominant, when you're truly a bad motherfucker, you're not DeMarcus Cousins whining and crying and scowling behind. Like I remember there was a clip of him where he went behind Steven Adams' head like he was going to hit Steven Adams when Steven Adams would fuck you up, DeMarcus Cousins.
Can I defend DeMarcus for a second because he's my dude?
I fuck with DeMarcus. I met him. He's cool. What about
DeMarcus.
him? I like him too, but I don't like 300-pound fucking babies. Why do you want to defend him? Man, be a fucking man now. You're not 20 anymore. You're unfulfilled talent at this point.
I would compare him. He's almost like a rescue dog. Like when a rescue dog that's been passed around different houses.
He's been in one house.
And has never. No, he hasn't, though.
Sacramento.
That's the thing. He went from Kentucky. He goes to Sacramento. 3 different owners.
Yes.
Like 6 different coaches.
I got that.
9 different point guards.
I got that.
It's like he's just being passed around into different systems and philosophies and whatever. Like nobody's ever said to him like, you're my dude. I have your back. This is your home now.
I got that. I respect that.
You're going to stay here. We're not trading you. This is Dave Yeager. This is our new coach.
Right. This is Dave. Introduce himself to him.
This is Dave. Dave's got your back.
Right.
And we're going to get you a point guard. It's going to be great here.
I got you.
That's never happened to him. And he's 27 now.
I respect that and I get that. But like even just the most recent thing is during the Olympics. You're whining and complaining too much. Be a bad motherfucker.
I think that's just who he is.
But I'm saying, that's not going to get it.
But in the gold medal game, he did kind of kick some ass.
He kicks ass, but then he's like.
Granted, it was.
Who did he kick at? The fucking Serbia? Like when they won? I mean, come on, man.
It wasn't Jokic. It was the other guy.
Yeah.
It was whoever the other guy was with the beard who looked like the Superman 2 villain a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, that
but
guy.
I just think his disposition. It's like no one wants to see a 7-foot, 300-pound baby. No one's going to feel bad for you. Like you're whining and all this shit.
The bigger issue to me is defensively, he's just not good enough, and I really wonder if. And this, I've been thinking about him a lot because I can't decide if I want the Celtics to trade for him or not. Because I think at some point he might be out there. If the Kings suck again, he says a couple more things, the Kings might have to trade him. And I just can't figure out if he's my most expensive player, my best player, and the heart of my team.
He's not the heart.
And I have a center who fundamentally just isn't a good defensive player, and you can take him out of the game. He'll get in foul trouble.
You don't want that.
Where am I going?
That's not Celtic pride.
No, where am I going with that?
That's what I'm saying.
But I do think, on the other hand, if you put him, like if his stock fell and it became like a Rasheed Wallace situation, and you put him on a team with a bunch of different pieces around him, like let's say he just ended up on Cleveland.
Right.
Let's just say they flipped Kevin Love into Boogie, and now he's with LeBron and Kyrie, and he's part of something. if he's your third best guy,
that'll help.
He's a monster.
And you don't have to. He's not the guy, the focal point. Yeah, he's a talent. His talent is immense. It's just at a certain point you have to decide what do you want to do. Define what your career is going to be. He could do all the shit. He could shoot. He could go. You see flashes of it. It's just the disposition.
It's funny that people, even now that we have all these stats and stuff and a much better understanding of basketball, people still judge guys by points, rebounds, and assists.
Right.
And block shots.
As opposed to what? How can they better judge them?
DeMarcus is a below average defensive player, which last time I checked was half of basketball.
Right.
And if he's your center, you're going to give up a lot of points. It's going to be a layup line. You're going to have trouble switching him. There's all these things that he's not great at. The same thing with Kevin Love. Same thing with Kyrie.
Right.
I think Kyrie hit the lottery. Like you saw, he's got some limitations.
Yes.
When he was asked to be the quote-unquote quarterback of the Olympic team, couldn't do it. Everybody's just standing there watching him.
Right.
Not a great defensive player, but if you put him with LeBron and they're doing the dueling ball stopper thing, and it's like pick your poison, one of these guys is going to, all of a sudden he's super dangerous.
I agree. But the Olympic team, why was that so complicated?
I don't know.
And why is there 19 coaches coaching the Olympic team?
Yeah.
Why don't they send fucking Boeheim and Coach K and who else did they have?
Thibodeau was there.
Send Thibs to like Serbia. Like let them coach it. Make it competitive. Like why? And I remember, like I think it was during the gold medal game. I was going to say the finals. Marv Albert said he commented on the ball movement. He said that's the first time I've seen that.
I remember that.
See, this is all to me mentality.
Yeah.
Ball movement is a mentality. You should not have to teach professional basketball players to move the ball.
Well, you know what happened? They made Durant the point forward.
And what does he hold the ball?
No, once he did that, the ball started moving. Because the whole time he should have been the point forward, but they had to go through the charade of Kyrie Irving and Kyle Lowry as like being the old school traditional Chris Paul guys, and they're not.
Right.
And then from what I read, Coach K kind of had a heart-to-heart with Durant.
And said what?
I think Durant was broken from the
Yeah,
summer.
he was fucking broken.
He looked sad and like he was out of it. And supposedly Coach K showed him a video of the 2010 Turkey game when Durant was awesome in the World Championships and was like, can I have this guy? Can I have the guy who takes like 30-footers and just has a lot of swagger? And then Durant became that guy. And I think Durant climbed out of the wormhole. Where do you think, we never talked about that, where do you think he should go? Or where do you think he should have gone?
I think he should just re-upped 150% with Oklahoma. I think.
Really?
Oh, 150%. If you can have back your worst show, your worst interview, your worst take, your worst movie, and say, we're gonna go at it again. I go, fuck yeah. So that was the worst nightmare. You're up 3-1, right? We know the script. So you go, we're gonna do this one more time. We're bringing in Oladipo, right? We're gonna have this. We're gonna re-up for this one more time. We're gonna give you what, $25 million? What do you have to lose? You're 27. Why are you going to be the third option? Sometimes the fourth option. It's gonna vary. It's gonna change on a team that they crack that ass open, real proper. Why? Why do you want to do that? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. We're saying, let's do it one more shot. We're going to go one more time. The gang's all here, and we have Oladipo.
When I had Bosch on my HBO show, I thought he had a really cool point about this.
What did he say again?
He basically said, sometimes when you're that close, that's when it hurts the most. You want to get away from it.
Yeah, but that's when the heart. That's what I'm talking about. That's what like it's like. How do you think Rocky felt after losing Apollo, watching Apollo get killed by Clubber Lang?
I gotta say, I kind of felt that way. Not to get too deep, but one of the reasons I wanted to leave Boston is I had so many disappointments in Boston professionally that I just felt like I had skeletons there, and I had to just get away and just start somewhere new.
But you didn't come to New York. You came to fucking L.A. I'm just saying, like, I get if he wanted to leave, I respect that. But
I think he felt like he had too much baggage, and I honestly think he was just done with playing with Westbrook.
That I could get.
I think he just had it. I think it had been 8 years. Imagine, both of us played for a long time. You're in those games where it's like, I had my best chance.
I love that we compare our basketball careers to professionals.
I love nothing more than to compare my shitty basketball career to Kevin Durant.
Yeah, go ahead, but break it down. We played for a long time. Go ahead.
We're both veterans. Mm-hmm. We're both veterans.
Cagey veterans
of the Cage Circle.
Yeah.
But when you're on that pickup team,
Yeah.
and it's like, I fucking hate playing with this guy, but I might be able to stay on the court for 2 hours if I'm with this guy. And you have this internal battle of, is it going to be worth it? I'm going to be standing around a lot.
Right.
But this guy's going to play super hard, and if we're down 10-8, he'll score the last 3 and we'll win, and we can stay in the court and I have to sit out for an hour, get stiff, my knees hurt, I got to stretch again.
Chit-chat with people on the sidelines.
And you make a deal with the devil, and you stay with the guy. And I think after 8 years, Durant was just like, I'm good. He's like a blackjack dealer. It's like, guys, I'll be back in 20 minutes, and he got out.
I understand. I don't agree with it. And I think, you know...
But you didn't have to play with Westbrook for 8 years.
I understand.
Think how long 8 years is. It was the entire Obama presidency.
But Russell Westbrook didn't lose you the last 3 fucking games.
No, he didn't. I just think it was a style of play thing. I think Durant is
actually... But now what's he going to do? He's going to average, 15, 17 points a game? And the thing about it also is, like, you know how the star players always, they'll go, this one, that one, and Kevin Durant. When does Kevin Durant get announced in the thing in the beginning? Third?
That's why he should have gone to Boston.
I agree.
Boston was the move.
I agree.
And it was the most defensible move, too.
I agree.
Eastern Conference, new city, own team, fresh start, great coach, ton of assets.
I think this is I think that the backlash from this and the pressure from this and everything that's already come, and we're not even in training camp. All of it that's happened from this, I think it's going to be bad. I think it's
what else is going to be bad? There's some Draymond sliding down the hill going the wrong way momentum now.
The fuck is wrong with him? He's out of his fucking tree.
He was just awful in the Olympics. Now,
awful in the Olympics.
You could make a case it was the bad situation for him.
I agree.
It was the wrong situation.
It's going to happen to some guys on that team.
Yeah.
Some guys aren't going to play.
Snapchat thing happens. He cost his team the title by getting suspended, basically.
Fucking guy.
Now Durant's going to come in as the point forward. Draymond gets shoved to the side.
Bad idea. I think obviously Kevin Durant's a better basketball player, but Draymond has that heart. He has that energy. He has that meanness. He has that I'm going to fucking, live and die. He obviously the dick kicking, that's an issue. The dick picking, also an issue.
He just dicks.
All of
him and dicks might have to scale it back in the dick department.
But I don't,
all things dick.
The thing that I don't get is why would Golden State want to go after him? You guys, again, you fucked that up also. You fucked it up to Cleveland. You had it. Why do you need to bring in? It's not like they're bringing in some 6-man off the bench. You're bringing in a major league dude who wants to shoot the ball. Draymond is your guy. What the fuck's going to happen to Draymond?
Well, if you think about it just this way. They traded Harrison Barnes and Andrew Bogut for Kevin Durant.
I got it. I understand all that.
You have to do that.
I get it.
They didn't even have to give up a first-round pick. Like, it's an amazing trade.
I understand. I think that they put themselves in from being like the glory boys and the underdog to like now they have an X on their back and they didn't even win the fucking championship. They're the ones with the X on their back and they didn't win. As opposed to Cleveland, who sort of, skirted away. Although LeBron, he couldn't take the fact that Golden State was getting all the attention and Durant was getting all the attention. During the middle of the Olympics, he calls up Sports Illustrated and goes, I need to be on the cover, and I'm going to make stupid quotes about chasing ghosts and chasing Michael Jordan and the ghost of this one. And then I'm going to do the Olympic Sunday, when the Olympics end, I'm going to do the sit-down Sunday conversation. What the fuck is the Sunday conversation? Why are we talking to you? You won the championship 6 weeks ago. Go away. Go back on your Snapchat. Work out with your shirt off. And why is your shirt off, LeBron? That's why you're never going to be Michael Jordan. Why the fuck we know you're in shape. You're LeBron. What the fuck do you have your shirt off for every day? We know you're working out. Strive for greatness, the land, blah, 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 blah. But go away. You won the championship.
I'm still waiting for him to have an interesting interview.
Never. It's never going to happen.
I feel like after he won in 2013 when it was me, Magic, and Jalen, we actually got a really interesting 8 minutes out of him, but I think part of it was because he had just had a bunch of champagne.
Right.
So he was kind of loosened up.
And he wasn't on...
He's so media trained.
It's so media trained. It's so contrived.
What about when he's like, Sports Illustrated put that whole piece about he's chasing Jordan's ghost.
Right.
It's like, guess what?
He said I'm chasing Jordan's ghost.
Guess what? I would fucking hope so. I would hope you're chasing Jordan's ghost.
You're never
because you've won 3 titles and you have 4 MVPs. Like, I hope you're thinking about that as you head into season 14. I would hope Jordan's on your mind.
Right.
If he didn't say that, that would be news.
But why are you doing this interview anyway? It's not even basketball season.
He's trying to get attention.
I know, because it's Olympic. Let Simone Biles be on the cover. Who got bumped? Somebody got bumped from that cover. It was like a cheap photo. It wasn't, it wasn't like a stylized photo. So I want to find out who got bumped from the Sports Illustrated cover that week. It might have been your girl Caitlyn Jenner, because they had her on the Where Are They Now?
That was a good one. I enjoyed that. I like the Where Are They Now issue.
I love that issue.
That's a great one.
It's when
I think they should put pop culture in there too, but like just throw in Potsy from Happy Days and a couple.
Right.
Couple.
Because you can only do so many things on William the Refrigerator Perry, because he's always in there. And Birdman, what is it, Fidget? What was the?
Yeah, there's only so many.
There's only so many.
Wait, I had a question for you. Let's say we're making a bet, and you have to bet.
Yeah. You
have to bet $100,000 on this.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
I'm not saying you have to, but
yeah,
I'm saying
but I got
hypothetically.
It. Theoretically. Hypothetically. Give it to me. What is it?
If I said Kevin Durant is only going to be one and done in Golden State. He's going to be one and done.
No, I wouldn't. I'd bet no on that. I bet that he's going to stay more.
And I gave you 20-1 odds.
What does that mean?
That means you could bet. Let's
bet
say
100 and I could win.
Bet 100. You bet 100. You win $20,000 and 20-1 odds. Would you do it?
Fuck. He's not going to be there one season.
So you wouldn't bet 20-1?
No.
I would.
You would?
I would do anything up to like 8-1.
Yo, you think
I think it's in play.
Out of all this bullshit that he's went through, then what do?
I think it's in play. He has a 1 year out. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I think there's a very small chance that this is a really unhappy season. We've seen
it's
this.
Not small
the history
chance.
of this is.
It's a big chance.
The Nash, Dwight Howard, Kobe Lakers, the Malone, all those guys. The 04, that Lakers team was super unhappy.
Fucking Carl.
First year in Miami,
Payton.
Bosh, LeBron. Right. It's really hard to just throw superstars together.
I agree.
Now, this team is situated the best to do it.
I agree.
But let's say they're unhappy. Let's say Curry gets hurt. Let's say Durant can't fit in. Let's say he just looks at the landscape and says, I don't really like it here.
I like the ball.
Who knows?
I like to shoot.
Yeah, I made the wrong move. I got talked into this. Rock Nation and somebody else talked to me. It would be a fun wrinkle if they were like 15-11. And the buzz started like, ooh, could Durant be one and done? Because he could.
If they're 0-1, the buzz is going to be that. If they lose their first game, the whole thing's going downhill.
Basketball's turned into a 12-month sport.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Warriors in like late August.
I know. It's crazy because there's nothing else to talk about. I mean, God bless Michael Phelps and that dumb fuck Ryan Lochte. Right. I mean, that's all fantastic. And Usain Bolt. Talk about, can a stick man stick? Can a cocksman cock? Like, yo. There was pictures of him on Snapchat.
Who?
Usain Bolt, the day after he won his 12th fucking gold medal. And let this stick man stick it in. He's in Brazil. And they're like, reports are that the girlfriend knows what he's doing. He's a world traveling. Talk about a cocksman. He just did 100 meter. Did he do the relay too for Jamaica?
Which relay?
The
race relay
the 400
sex relay?
The 400 meter relay.
Sex relay. I think he did that too.
Yo, can a cocksman cock? Can a stick man stick? Let Usain Bolt. Of course he's fucking after he just won the 200 meter gold medal. They're like his girlfriend might be upset. You don't think she should be watching and she should be applauding him while he's down in Brazil doing his thing. Let him do his thing. I don't know how we got on that. But yeah, basketball.
I'm glad you brought it up though, because I do think that was part of the reason the hoops team didn't do well right away.
Oh, they were freaking off down there. Brazil?
I think the combination of Brazil, but also all of these incredible female athletes who are hot from all these different countries.
Oh my goodness.
Like, you're telling me these guys aren't in somebody's room watching like the Brazil versus Mexico volleyball game being like, who's number 17? Look her up. Go on their website. Let's DM her. I'm going to follow her on Twitter. I'll see if she follows me back. There's no way that wasn't happening.
Draymond Green just launching his fucking dick off the thing. It's like a bell. He didn't give a fuck. Let me tell you something. I'm not a big porn guy, straight up.
Okay.
But when I do dip into porn, and I don't really do it now, but
when you make a cameo.
Yo, Brazilian girls, yo.
Okay. So you think the Dream Team 5 might have had some trouble? At least a couple of them probably got.
Are you kidding me?
Did you think this team liked each other?
They seem like they love each other. That's another thing
It
I
seemed
don't
like DeAndre and DeAndre. Did you notice how?
He's like, they make a shot. He's like Bruce Lee every time. He's like, that's what he does. He's like.
His first year at the Clippers, he was an unbelievable 12th man when he wasn't playing. I
Right.
was going to those games. I was like, I like this guy.
Great bench guy?
Oh, he was awesome.
Oh, that's
he was
cool.
so good. It was like they lost him as a bench guy when he started playing. It was actually
funny.
hurt the team.
But
3 years ago, he went to Greece with Blake Griffin. And then this week, photo surfaced, he was in Greece with Kevin Durant. It's like he did this with Blake Griffin.
Well, I think everybody's kind of done this with Blake Griffin, right?
I'm buying Blake Griffin stock. I'm buying your Blake Griffin stock. I'm buying his. I'm buying everyone's.
To do what? You think this year is going to be the
I think he's
year?
going to have a big comeback year.
I hope so. I like Blake Griffin.
I like him too.
But your Clippers
My
are
Clippers.
They're fucked.
Why?
They're not doing shit.
Why?
They're just not a threat. They just don't have it.
I would argue they had the year from hell last year, and that they have one more good run of them.
Well, I love Doc. I love Chris Paul. I love the organization. They're just not doing it. It's just not happening. They're not winning a championship, and that's what that team was put together for. And the whole thing with the racial. What was the coach, the owner's name? That whole thing and the protest. What kind of protest was that anyway? We're gonna take off my shirt and I'm gonna slam my shirt down. That's when things like do something. Like we're gonna put our fucking warm-up jerseys down. Like, come on, man. Do some shit, man. You know what I'm saying?
If they hadn't played that game.
I'm not saying don't play the game, but, get out there and be like, fuck you. You need to get the fuck out. Do so. We're going to put our jerseys down. And that's our protest.
If they hadn't played the game, that's one of the great sports moments of the decade.
If they really, that would have been.
They're like, fuck this guy. We got to race this on. We're not playing.
Right.
And ABC's like, I was doing the studio show that day.
Right.
We had a game. It was the 3:30 East Coast game.
Did you think, was there word that they might not play?
No, not only was there not word, initially it was that Jalen got involved, actually. I will say I was behind the scenes for that. And we talked about it, and I could see Jalen getting more and more fired up. And he started texting some of the players, like, you guys really aren't going to do anything? And it led to kind of that impromptu warm-up thing. But Jalen definitely peer pressured them. I was there for that.
Why are you thinking Blake Griffin's stock is going up? What's going to change about his game?
Well, one of the things that makes me laugh, Oklahoma City, which they're just masters of the benevolent smear campaign on the guys out of town, leaking stuff to reporters, leaking information, making, like, Durant left and they made it seem like he was like Forrest Gump.
Right.
When he left, it's like, oh, well, Kevin, he's just so impressionable.
Right.
He'll do anything anyone tells him.
Right.
So he's going to make $200 million. You make it seem like he's got some sort of social disability.
Yeah.
He's very impressionable.
Right. I think he is impressionable.
Well, I think there's a difference in being impressionable, but still having an awareness of the right decision versus like just being a freaking moron who gets dragged into meetings and then is like, where should I go?
Yeah, I agree. I think he's actually he's similar to like one of those guys. Like I think when he first came in the league, he was smiley, he was doing all these commercials, and then sort of the real him came out, which he's sort of a tough guy. He's sort of
I think he reads the internet too much.
I
think he reads
too.
everything.
It fucks him up.
And I think it made him angry, and I think he takes stuff personally.
I agree.
But I think there's a difference between being impressionable and having people in your life who genuinely, it's in their interests for you to do something. So in his situation, he had Nike. Great for Nike if he goes to Golden State because that's an Under Armour team. Mm-hmm. And now that becomes a Nike/Under Armour team. So it's great for them.
But no one's buying the KDs.
No, but it's just good for them.
Right.
It's good for them to
Actually, his KDs are good.
His KDs are good.
KDs, they're way better than the fucking Steph Curry 2s and that
Totally.
trash. I mean, did you see James Harden sneakers?
Ooh.
What the fuck? They're like, I don't know I can't even describe them.
They're
Indescribable.
terrible.
They're as bad as his fucking beard and his fashion sense. They go right along with everything and his
James Harden character assassination.
Oh my God, I can't stand James Harden's
Wait, one
game.
more thing on KD. So then you have Rock Nation.
Yes. Shout out to The Rock. Jimmy Man.
A lot of business investment possibility, opportunities. Silicon Valley, the Bay Area.
Yep.
Basically all of our wealth is concentrated in this one area.
Yep.
Like 80% of America's wealth. Is it better for them to have Kevin Durant in the Bay Area or Oklahoma City? So you have two groups of people in his life who it's in their interest. But I still think he's smart enough to know what the best situation is.
He'll figure it out.
They were reinforcing stuff that he already was feeling.
Yeah.
But anyway, with the Oklahoma City stuff, there's a reason we got on this.
Blake, you say Blake's stock is going up.
No, so all of a sudden stuff comes out about and Blake in Oklahoma City is going to line up to get Blake, and the possibility of Blake coming back to Oklahoma City. Why the fuck would Blake go back to Oklahoma City?
What do you mean go back? Was he on Oklahoma City?
He was from Oklahoma.
Who's
that man? So he's going to go back and play there?
No one wants to. Even that's why he wanted to get the fuck. He knows better than anyone else.
He lives on the beach.
Right,
he lives in LA. Hangs out with comedians.
Right.
He was just in Montreal at the stand-up festival. He's going to be like, all right, guys, I'm done with this A-list celebrity life.
Right.
I'm going back to Oklahoma.
I'm going home.
I found a mansion right near the Purina facility.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
He's not going to Oakland. He knows better not to go home.
But the team's leaking that stuff. It's like, well, you never know with Blake, which ironically is the same stuff that they got mad at Golden State for doing. That Golden State was leaking stuff about Durant and texting Durant during the season. Oklahoma City's like,
right.
They cheated.
They're confused.
Now they're doing the same thing with Blake.
I feel
Oklahoma
bad.
City is the same thing that traded Jeff Green to the Celtics when he needed open heart surgery eventually. Second round pick was the violation.
Shit.
Yeah. Celtics couldn't even get a first-round pick for that. They traded for a guy who needed open-heart surgery.
That's fucked up.
And the league was like, second-round pick.
We'll let that go.
Yeah.
I think Oklahoma's going to be good. I think they're going to be competitive. I think they're going to be just as competitive as your Clippers.
Well, you know, Westbrook
You still got those season tickets?
I do. I split them with Mike Tolan.
Yeah, right. Mike,
I'll take you.
Can I go to a fucking game?
I'll take you. The people in our section will probably complain.
About what?
As the conversations we're having in the seats.
Nah, they'll be all right. Were they rich? Are they like big time?
It's a great section. It's the old school Clippers section from like they call them the 1984s.
I want to go to a game.
All right, I'll take you.
I want to go to a game.
On Oklahoma City, Westbrook has the best MVP odds.
Absolutely. He's coming out. He's going to be fucking hard body karate, wild for the night. I want to take these motherfuckers down from beginning to end.
So we had a guy in the Ringer, this new guy we hired, Kevin O'Connor, who I think's good.
Okay.
He wrote this piece that I agreed with about how Westbrook being in that crazy, going for triple doubles every night mode does not necessarily translate to success.
I agree.
When Durant was out and he went into that mode 2 years ago when Durant had to redo his foot because he needed 3 surgeries.
Right.
For his foot.
He needed a new foot, a bionic foot.
But meanwhile, it's like, oh, why would he leave Oklahoma City? Like maybe he wants to have a franchise that spends $120 million on players, and if Kevin Durant has a broken foot, they'll go get the best fucking doctor in the entire world to look at his foot versus whatever, happened to Oklahoma City. Anyway, wait, there's a reason I was
You said because of Oklahoma City, when you were saying I love that I have to bring the conversation.
I know.
I love that I'm the.
I got upset.
I'm the fact checker.
I got upset.
It was because Westbrook didn't do well.
Yeah. So Westbrook
the team didn't do well.
Right. So Westbrook was 15. They were 15 and 12 during that crazy stretch when he was taking like 25 shots a game.
Right.
So, and if you compare him to 06, if you compare him to 06 Kobe.
This is why I love you. I can't even.
Same situation, right? Like he's gonna, but 06 Kobe was just a better offensive player.
Yes.
I mean, he could shoot the mid-range jumper. He could post up a little bit at that point. He could get to the basket. He could bounce off people.
Yes.
Westbrook's just balls to the wall.
Balls to the wall.
I think that's pretty easy to stop if you don't have Durant and Ibaka out there.
We're gonna see.
No
one's been able to stop it yet. It's like a tsunami. The energy is just, to me, that is truly an artistic expression. It's beyond basketball. That energy, that tenacity, it's just you can't.
Force of nature stuff.
For real.
Yeah.
It's Picasso. It's like, what is this shit? It has nothing to do with skill. It's all will.
Derrick Rose used to play like that.
Well, yeah.
In the last 2 Bulls seasons, when you would go see him in person, it was very similar to Westbrook, where it was just like, Jesus Christ.
But
this guy's a maniac.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we could get 65 games out of him in New York.
Here's the case for him. It could have happened last year, and I think he
did well last year.
He broke an orbital bone. I think it screwed up the first couple months.
In his face.
Yeah. Your point guard last year was Jose Calderon.
Right.
And who was the other one?
Prigioni, the pizza maker, or did we trade him? Did we get rid of him in the beginning of the season? It was Calderon. It was Langston Galloway.
Langston Galloway. This is the case for Derrick Rose. He's even in impaired.
B. Jennings,
not
we have.
nearly as good. And then B. Jennings.
B. Jennings.
I think B. Jennings, fan favorite potential.
Absolutely.
No question.
One of the best NBA Twitter accounts ever.
Old school New York point guard.
Yep. Lefty.
Lefty.
He got passed up. Who they picked Jordan Hill. They picked Jordan Hill instead of B. Jennings in the draft.
Yeah. That was a tough pick because Curry was right before.
Achilles make me nervous, but I've always liked Brandon Jennings.
I agree with you on the Achilles. That worries me a little. Wesley Matthews was not the same last year. That seems like a 2-year recovery.
Yeah.
For that
Courtney Lee.
Injury. Courtney Lee would be nice. Let's take a quick break to talk about our friends at Sonos. They're the smart speaker system that streams all your favorite music to any room or every room in your house, apartment, dorm room, wherever you live. Control your music with one simple app. Fill your home with pure, immersive sound. Find the Sonos app that brings your music together, and it lets you control everything from songs to which rooms the songs are playing in to the volume of those songs in those rooms. Oh yeah, it does everything. You can play them in one room, you can play them in every room all at once, doesn't matter. Play a different song in the bedroom, the bathroom, the living room, the outside, I don't care. Sonos. It's amazing. It is your friend. Add it to your existing music services or discover something new. Sonos, check it out, sonos.com. And since we're here, let's talk about our friends at Simply Safe. There's still a couple weeks left in the summer, and as we've discussed many times, burglaries skyrocket over the summer. Protecting your home and your family, it really cannot wait. That's why we worked with Simply Safe to put together a massive security arsenal for you. A special package that has entry sensors, motion sensors, glass break, everything you need to stop criminals from ever touching your home every day, 24/7, all year round. You are protected. If a burglar so much tries to break in, an ear-shattering siren will let him know, or let her know, that the police are already on your way. You can get $100 off our hand-picked security package. Go to simplysafebuild.com. It is quite possibly the best home security deal you'll ever see. Go to simplysafebuild.com. And now, back to Michael Rapaport.
How do you remember these things in your head? 13 from 14, from 12, and 06 Kobe, from 08 Kobe?
I don't know.
Like, because that shit to me is so, like...
And I can't remember, like, what happened on my daughter's 5th birthday. Like,
right.
Believe me, I would much rather have the relevant information.
Right, the things that are important.
My brain just sponges basketball. I can't explain it.
Football, too?
Fantasy football? Yeah, I don't... The thing with football, though, is we always look forward in football. You don't in basketball, you're always like trying to piece together the history and compare it to now. And
right.
It's just the history
There's
is so
interchangeable things. The injuries are so prominent in football, though. Like so many things.
Football is just like what's happening this year. I don't care what happened last year. Last year's over.
I agree.
40% of the team's different every year. And baseball used to be another one where the history was so important, and then the steroids just screwed up the history.
Right.
Now I don't like. Ortiz had 30 homers and 100 RBI. He had 30th homer, he got his 100. So they put this graphic up of like oldest people to get 100 RBI in a season. Uh-huh. And like it was like him, Ted Williams, and then Barry Bonds.
Right.
And I'm like, well, what do I make it out? Like, what am I supposed?
Ortiz too, though. Didn't he almost go blind with those fucking steroids?
No.
Didn't he fucking lose an eye fucking with the steroids?
No.
You know I'm not a baseball guy.
Lose an eye?
But doesn't he have a glass eye from the steroids?
No.
What did he do with the steroids? I don't know. You know, I'm not a baseball guy.
Not a glass eye.
I love Big Papi. I love him, and I love that he fucking cursed after the fucking
This is our fucking city.
I love that.
It was the best.
I love you.
Greatest
You gotta
moment.
love Big Papi. That
Best
was
moment
fucking.
in
That's real. Like it was emotional. It was genuine. I love Big Papi, but he didn't lose an eye from the steroids. All right, I'm not
the same body for 20 years.
Okay, just asking.
Fantasy football.
Are you into
talk
fantasy?
about?
You want to talk about fantasy?
I was doing fantasy football when nobody knew what the fuck it was.
So you're into it.
I wrote the first fantasy football column on ESPN.com. I
didn't
wrote
know
two
this.
in 2001. And my editors were like, are we running this?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you a question. How? Because you're a numbers guy, you're a stat guy, you got a memory like a sort of a human Google machine quality. Like, what's your fantasy football prowess? Huh?
So, I've done it all in fantasy. I've won.
Right.
I've lost. I've laughed. I've cried.
Yes.
I'm in the greatest league that ever existed in the West Coast, where
What is this fucking league, and why aren't I in it?
it's 11 teams.
Who the fuck are these guys?
It's 11. It's cousin Sal. It's the whole Jimmy extended Jimmy
Who's
circle.
in it? Jimmy, Sal, who? You want a piece of me? Who?
John Hamm.
I don't know. John Hamm, he wants a fucking piece of me?
We don't have any spots open.
Let me tell you something. Okay,
So-
who else? Who else is in there? You can drop names. Oh, just regular hanger-oners.
Not hanger-oners. Some people with jobs.
Okay, I'm just saying, but hanger-oners, though.
11-person league.
Why 11? That's weird.
Well, because 11 show up for the draft. The guy who won the year before gets to vote off somebody, Survivor style. Nobody knows who it's going to be.
That would never be me.
Nobody
ever
knows.
Bro?
Huh?
You mock draft?
No, I don't do that.
You don't mock? You just step up to the plate. I like that.
The Cuz does that. Cousin Sal. Like for 3 straight weekends, he's in some chamber with all these weirdos doing fake draft.
I'm so into mock drafting.
Yeah.
And because my fantasy football shit, like this is my 3rd season doing it, and this is my 1st season drafting alone.
This is your 3rd season? Only you like Tom Hanks and Castaway, like on a desert island?
I know. I shunned it. To me, it was some Dungeons and Dragons, Game of Thrones type fucking nerd shit. And then I got invited into the Howard.
But it still is. I just want to point that out.
No.
You've made it cool?
No, I haven't made it cool, but I understand that it's not that.
Okay.
First of all, it's made me
unclear.
I love fantasy football. It's made me appreciate the NFL as a whole. It's given me agony. It's given me pain. It's given me joy. I kind of want.
There's not a lot of joy in fantasy football.
Oh, yes, there is.
No, there really isn't.
Yes, there fucking
You
is.
have a 1 in 10 or a 1 in 12 chance of winning, and an 11 in 12 or a 9 in 10 chance of just being unhappy.
See, you're looking at it as just a winning. And
I'm grizzled. I've been in a marriage with fantasy football since 1990.
I got that.
I can't even get a fantasy football erection anymore. There's nothing can happen to me with fantasy football anymore.
Then maybe
I've seen
you should step away from a season.
I tried to quit my East Coast league, and the guys wouldn't let me quit.
Why not?
They gave me a guilt trip. They're like, we've been together this long. This is part of friendship, and they made me feel bad.
For a year. Spend time with your family.
I tried to get. It would have been easier to divorce my wife than my East Coast fantasy league.
Shit. You don't want to divorce your wife.
Well, that would have been much more expensive.
Yeah, it's cheaper to keep her. That fucking song didn't just it wasn't just come out of nowhere, that song like that. But this is I'm impressed that you don't mock draft. But that makes sense because you're one of those guys, you got it all in your head. But this is my 2nd year in fantasy, and I've been doing it in the Stern League, the Howard Stern Fantasy Football League, right?
Is that a name drop?
Yeah, I'm just telling you.
Howard Stern's not in it. He just never even watched a football game.
He uses a fucking name. Matthew Berry's in it.
Yeah.
Gorilla, Fafui, they're in it and all that. But the first 2 years, my son and his friend, Guru Gray, who's sort of a mini Bill Simmons. He's like a beautiful mind of sports. He's done my drafts. Now they make me draft on my own.
Smart.
So I'm mock drafting, and mock drafting has become too easy. So now what I'm doing is duress mock drafting.
You solved mock drafting?
Oh, yeah. But I duress mock draft. I do push-ups blindfolded in between picks. So, like, when it's time for me to pick, like, I'm in duress. So when the real draft, it's like some
Navy SEALs.
Exactly. So when it's time to really draft, I take a shower.
You're blindfolded. You take the blindfold out.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm disoriented. I'm breathing heavy. You got 14, 15 seconds to make your pick. That's how you really you get ready for the real draft.
And do you do auction or just snake draft?
PPR, snake draft, straight up.
Snake draft's like, come on.
Yo, but you're saying
snake draft's like 8-foot rims. No, it's great. Play with the 8-foot rims.
So what do you?
Auction's the only way to go. I mean,
listen,
it's Texas Hold'em versus like freaking playing gin rummy.
Bill, you're not understanding what it is to me. I don't play in these stake. I play. To me, it's all.
Do you even know what auction is?
Yes, I do. I know what it is.
You have a salary cap, and you get to be Isaiah Thomas.
I know.
So it's like, do I want to spend $80 million on Zach Randolph, or do I spend it more wisely?
Want me to tell you a good Isaiah Thomas story? It's not as good as your story.
Okay.
I was in Philadelphia the day of the Democratic National Convention.
Okay.
I was filming something for Snapple. Okay? It's a little tip-off for Snapple. I get in late, like 2 in the morning. I'm in the hotel where all like the fucking people are, right? Like everybody who was like, it was a nice hotel. I can't remember the name of the hotel. I get in at 2 in the morning. I have to be up at like 7 in the morning. I fall asleep probably 3:30. 5:21. Fire alarm, fire alarm, fire alarm. I'm like, fuck a fire alarm. And then I'm like, I'm gonna go back to sleep. It's like, fire alarm. You must evacuate the hotel right now. And I'm thinking, holy shit, it's the Democratic National Convention. This could be something serious.
Right.
This could be like, it's real shit. and I'm at like a real hotel, right?
More serious than Doc and Larry Bird getting in a fight?
Like you're scared. So I'm in my underwear. I put all my shit in a bag, and I run downstairs.
What'd you do with the hooker?
I left her in there. She didn't want to get up. She was fucking out.
She was out of it.
She was out. Why are you bringing up the hooker? The people filming this. I'm literally running. There's people. Some people are meandering down the stairs. Some people are like, running. People are crying. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I bust through the exit door. I'm on at the back of the hotel. It's pouring raining. I'm totally disoriented. I got woken up out of my 2 hours of sleep. I'm like, what the fuck? I have my bag with me. I'm in my boxer shorts, a t-shirt, and I have like a hoodie on top of my head. I'm like, people are like, what's going on? Some people are freaking out. I get to the front of the hotel. There's firemen. There's all this shit. 20 minutes later, now it's like 5:45. They go, you can go back into the hotel. You could check back into your room. This is all over a megaphone, right? So I'm going to check back into my, I go there. I need my room key. They're like, well, you have your ID. I go, I have my bag. I just escaped the hotel. It could have been anything could have happened. They give me my room key. I'm going towards the elevator, and who the fuck do I see? And it was literally I was dreaming. Fucking Zeke Thomas, Isaiah Thomas, was in the hotel, and he's like. And he tells me, he goes, yo, I thought the end was coming. I was like, I know, I was scared. He goes, I filled up my bathtub with water. I looked out the third floor. I was like, I'm going to fucking jump out of the third floor. I was like,
you filled up his bathtub with water?
Yeah, he goes,
why would you do that?
I think he thought if it was a fire or some shit like that.
Oh, he would get in the water?
Yeah, I don't know, but he was, I know it was a panic, he panicked. Yeah. And he said, I went to my window. He's like, I could jump from the third floor. And, because your heart was racing because of the hotel that you were at and the reason why you're in Philadelphia at the Democratic National Convention.
Yeah.
And, whatever. But it was just so weird out of all those people to see Isaiah, and he was freaked the fuck even more so than I. When I was freaked out because I was like, I ran my shower and filled my bathtub up with water. I was like, why did you stay in the room? He goes, I fucking panicked. I freaked out.
So you get through all that, and then you're like, but seriously, why the fuck did you take Bachman over Rondo?
Right. And how the fuck did you get rehired for the Knicks? What did you tell?
Why did you take Ronaldo Bachman? We needed a point guard.
Trust me, I wanted to start talking Knicks with him.
Why did you do that?
When I wanted, but it was just so surreal. It was like what is it called when you're seeing water when you're in
a mirage?
A mirage. Yeah. It was and Isaiah looks fucking good, man.
He's a very handsome man.
And he doesn't age, and he's got that fucking smile and that voice.
Handsome dude.
Yeah, anyway.
New boxing movie coming out this weekend, by the way, the Durant Leonard movie, Hands of Stone.
I'm concerned about.
How many boxing movies can we realistically have?
Listen.
I really like Creed.
I thought Creed was great.
In on Creed, I did not like Southpaw.
I did not like Southpaw. I don't care how ripped you got Jake Gyllenhaal. You want to test for PEDs, they should start testing actors for PEDs.
That'd be amazing.
You want to test actors for fucking PEDs.
That'd be amazing.
He looked fantastic. But I did not like Southpaw. The fact that you know that the world is changing when Robert De Niro will do a car wash at ESPN to promote a movie. The fact that they got Robert De Niro up in Bristol, Connecticut, the man who can't stand talking to anybody, up 2 hours out of the city, the landscape of television and film and the internet and just the media is changing when Robert De Niro will go up there and do multiple shows in one day.
How much money does he need? Because did you see Bad Grandpa? It starts off with him jerking off.
I didn't see it. Is that how it starts?
It starts out with him jerking off.
I don't think he needs money.
Flat out. Stop doing those movies. Protect your legacy a little, Robert De Niro.
The legacy will never be fucked up. The legacy can't be touched.
Now you sound like you're talking about Birdman and Beautiful Girls.
No, the legacy. You know that this is crazy. I fantasize about interviewing Robert De Niro. Talking to him and getting all the information. Because
I don't think it's coming.
It's never happening.
Nah.
And even if you did the interview, you're never going to get the information. And you want to get all these details and all that stuff. But the thing that makes it so the prize jewel is if you interview actors now. I was reading this interview with this actor the other day. I'm not going to say his name. The interview was so pathetic. He's like, well, I drilled out my teeth to do this part, and then the director told me that he didn't want it, so I had to go to the dentist and get it put back in, and I shaved my beard with a buck knife and vodka. I'm like, motherfucker, Just do your fucking job. Like when the concrete guy is laying the concrete, he's not like, I spun the concrete.
Right.
Just do your fucking job. Like you got a power drill. This is a real thing. And drilled your fucking teeth out.
You lost a ton of weight and shaved your head for higher learning.
Yeah,
That's as far as you went. You skipped sandwiches for like 3 weeks.
Whatever. I had all sort of colitis. It was easy. But I'm just saying, like, the thing about De Niro and the real method actors, they don't talk about their method.
True.
And that's the thing. When you interview De Niro, he's not going to give you some secrets of, because that's your job requirement. You know, that's what you're supposed to do.
If I ever interviewed him, I would be more interested in, like, did you feel like when you did the diner scene with Pacino, like it was like almost like a sporting event and you had to like win the scene? Or like what movie, if any of the movies you've ever done came on,
would you stop and watch?
What would you watch?
I thought about that question.
I've always been fascinated how he studied Marlon Brando to do Godfather 2. And like put real genuine thought into like what would Brando's character Vito Corleone be like at age 23? What would his mannerisms be? To me, that's like one of the great De Niro performances.
Absolutely.
It's kinda, I mean, I'm not breaking news by saying that, but the amount of thought he put into that, like if somebody did that in 2016, the internet would be like, they'd be going crazy.
And his approach now, how it's changed. Like, does he take shortcuts? Because he was so notorious.
I think his approach now is just make the cue card print as
don't
big
say
as you can.
that with the cue cards. There's no fucking cue cards.
I think the guy.
Bob don't use cue cards. Don't you fucking say that. Don't say that. Bob
like
don't.
This.
No. That you just made my heart race saying
He's
that.
80.
He's not fucking 80. He's 70. He looks good. Bob ain't no fucking old man.
You know Nicholson's 79.
Yeah, well, yeah. Is he 79?
79.
He is fucking bloated, isn't he? That motherfucker is big and bloated.
He's had a great life.
Fantastic life.
I think when he
talk about a stick man.
Well, I think when he dies,
talk about a coxman.
It's gonna be like when they did the Secretariat autopsy and his heart was twice the size of a normal heart.
He's an
Nicholson.
animal.
They're gonna be like, oh my God, look at these internal organs Nicholson had.
Yeah,
he's been going hard since like the late '60s.
Ooh, he's a beast. He's a fucking beast. He doesn't act anymore, right? He's like, fuck it, right?
He had to have been one of the 7 most excited people when Viagra was created.
Getting it in the 90s, right?
Yeah, whenever it came out, he must have been like, oh my God, so many more boners.
Yeah, Jack. He's an animal.
Legendary stickman. What was your stickman story you're going to tell us?
No, it wasn't a stickman story. It's just
it was false advertising.
No, it wasn't a stickman story. It's just I got something sent to me, and one of the places where the stickman was here, and there's a basketball team, a pickup team called the Stickmen, and they sent me the jersey.
That is hilarious.
I need to get you one so you could hang it in your office.
Incredible.
I mean, look at this. Is this not fantastic?
Incredible.
Well, if I was to be able to pull off getting you a Stickman shirt,
we would absolutely hang it.
But
when
what
we redo
number would
the
you want? 33?
33. Yeah.
33.
What are you talking about?
Yo, my people, these guys are in Australia. It's a rec league.
I want 33.
They started the Stickmen.
We never talked. There's unfortunately there's not a Stickman website.
There should be.
There should be, but there's some big Stickman. I asked Barkley on my first show at Barkley, did a speed round with him.
Yes.
And I asked Barkley, I think it was like if Dr. J, Michael Jordan, and
this wasn't on the show.
It was on the deleted scenes.
Well, this should have been on the scene scenes.
I know, it should have. They're all going after the same girl at a bar. Who wins? He's like Dr. J.
Whoa.
Like, maybe it was like Dr. J, Ali, and Michael Jordan. So he's like Dr. J. He's like wouldn't even consider like a conversation.
Are you
that
serious?
didn't involve. Yeah, it was like.
Did he say why?
It was almost like he answered it so quickly, directly, and without even having to think about it. Oh, it was Dominique Wilkins. That's who it was.
Dominique
Dr.
got it
J, Dominique. Dominique was Jalen's idol, yeah.
Coxman.
Yeah.
Fantastic
legendary.
Coxman.
Owned the South.
Had it on lockdown.
Even Magic. He was kind of on Magic's radar in the 80s. Like Magic had his LA side, and Dominique basically had the South.
Right. It was like if they had like a thing like in The Godfather where you brought together all the families. Dominique would represent the South, Magic would be the West Coast. I don't know who would be Patrick. Who would be in New York? There's plenty of people from New York.
Too many people in New York.
But he said Dr. J, huh?
Dr. J without hesitation. And he
He's
played with
smooth,
Dr. J, which
right?
made
He
me...
knows the deal.
Yeah,
if
he
Barkley's
knew.
answering. Now listen.
Wait, hold on. One quick thing on Dominique, because I interviewed him once, and Jalen told me to ask him. Apparently, Dr. J, Dominique owned like a nightclub or something in Atlanta.
A strip club or was it a nightclub?
It was like a nightclub.
I'm sure it was fantastic.
It was a nightclub.
Dominique was...
And it was like he had his old thing, and he was like all-time under the radar. Magic was pretty flamboyant about like, he's LA, he's at these clubs. Dominique was just like...
I'm sure it was beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was beautiful, magical.
So, Dominique, not decent interview, not the most dynamic guy ever, but fun interview, loves basketball. Like I love talking to him. I love talking to all these guys. But I started to talk about like Atlanta in the 80s and what was going on there, and I could see like the wheels were turning. First of all, he was like, "You motherfucker, Jalen must have told you to ask you this." I could see that in his head, and there was a split second of him deciding whether he wanted to go there, and then he just went class act Dominique, which is what Jalen told me he would do. He's like, "Dominique, class act."
Well,
doesn't talk about his business.
And that's the thing about people misunderstand about a true stickman. There's a difference between being a savage and a pig and a scumbag and a stickman, a cocksman. Anybody could be a scumbag. Anybody could be a degenerate, fuck anything. But to be a true stickman like Dominique Wilkins, I'm not talking about it. I don't need to talk about it.
I don't need to.
The work is out there. It's out there. You want to find out about me? I'm not gonna. It's like I don't need to discuss. It's like De Niro method acting.
I was gonna say it's like Daniel Day-Lewis. I don't need to do interviews about my work.
No, it's right here. The work's out there.
Yeah.
Go do a interview. Go down to Atlanta. Find every 40-year-old girl that's half good looking, and then come back to me and you tell me what they said about me.
They're all wearing Dominique jerseys.
Exactly, with a little number 21 tattooed on their ankle.
The last time we talked about stickman, like we talked about it every time you come on.
Because you get
Do people
such a
come up? Do
all
people
the
come up to you
time.
now? Do they shout names at you?
Burgess Meredith always gets love because he's the guy. It's the.
But nobody in the industry is like, oh, when you guys do stickman next time, you got to talk about blank.
No, people like the Matt Dillon.
That was great.
Burgess, people will say to me, consummate stickman. People get off on the stickman thing, but the thing about the stickman thing is you understood it and got it as much as me. And I saw when you interviewed Jonah Hill, I was like, he's going to say something. Like, you asked him one question.
I went down the Leo Road. I wanted to see how
he goes,
he played
ask him. You should have said, I'm asking you, motherfucker.
There's two people that don't get mentioned enough.
Who?
That we've never really talked about.
Who?
When we do first ballot Hall of Fame.
Who is this?
DiMaggio.
Oh, yes.
And Sinatra.
Oh, forget it. Frankie, baby?
I think Frank, I don't know what that, like if we were just starting a basketball Hall of Fame from scratch.
A stickman Hall of Fame.
And it would, yeah. No, I'm saying if like basketball Hall of Fame from scratch, you'd be like, all right, we got to have Jordan, we got to have Russell, we got to have Bird, Magic. You have your like 7 essentials. There's no way we can have a first ballot without these guys.
Absolutely.
Sinatra and DiMaggio, to me, are all-time first ballot.
No doubt.
DiMaggio stuck to your credo. You never knew what he was up to.
Never.
Even Marilyn Monroe, that was the big point of contention with him. He didn't like to be public. Joe D liked it,
Right. It's down low because I got 17 other Marilyn Monroes running around that aren't named Marilyn Monroe.
But the other great one was Ted Williams.
Fantastic coxman.
You wouldn't even know until you read the book.
Right.
And it apparently really was a splendid splinter.
Was he?
Yeah. Like splendid splinter.
He had a bat on him.
Yeah, he did.
He had a little fucking bat on him.
All these books, they always talk about how gigantic the guy's dong was. My buddy Jacko and I, it's a running joke. There's always an autobiography that's like, oh, and by the way, he was very well endowed.
Right. It's always
the guy's always dead. Like, there's no way to actually know.
You should have put that in the big book of basketball somehow or another,
I did have a Dick footnote section. I had one about.
You mentioned somebody. Who?
Something Dick. Yeah, there was a couple guys. I'm sorry.
No, it should have been about yourself. You should have been like the writer. Forget these guys.
Just made up.
Yeah, you just like.
I think it can only happen when you're dead.
Right, it has to be. And by the way, because that's the way it is. And that's the thing with Burgess Meredith.
But JFK bad stick man because all
messy.
Messy.
That's not a stick man.
Quick, had a bad back.
Yeah.
Had to be in the bottom.
Yes, that's not a stick man.
No, bad stick man. But I think people think he's a stick man.
But see,
JFK Jr. stick man.
Coxman. He's definitely up there, and I mean, he was great in the 80s and the 90s. I mean, he was notorious. People are still crying. Ladies are still crying about the loss of JFK Jr.
Do you count David Spade as a stick man?
Hell no.
Okay.
Hell
so
no.
So you have standards.
There's standards. David Spade and his trucker hat and his weird hair. And I love David Spade.
Because he's had a lot of girlfriends.
Yeah, I mean, he's got it in. He gets an award for something.
How about Counting Crows guy?
With the fucking afro?
Yeah, but he
with the dreads?
He dated like every relevant person in the 90s.
Yeah.
No?
But we saw it. We knew it. I mean, again, there's levels of, to get that title, Coxman, true, like stamped, boom. Stickman, boom. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's like Jeter. DiCaprio.
You love when the like Dylan is a good one because
Matt Dillon
so subtle about it.
So subtle.
Jeter tried to be subtle about it, but it was just so many every night for 20 years. Yeah, but at some point.
But he just he was walking on water. Like when he did it, like there was no, you could ask him about it. Like he just had that glassy kind of thing about it. Like it is what it is. Like you're talking about Dominique, he got it in. You know what I'm saying? Who are I'll tell you here. I'll reveal you a great Coxman.
Okay.
And I haven't spoken to him recently. He's gonna fucking die if he ever hears this. Benicio del Toro. He's gonna fucking die. He's a friend of mine. Haven't spoken to him much recently, but it's just because we're busy, whatever.
Spanish.
Fantastic.
Spanish?
Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican from Pennsylvania, which I always say doesn't make any sense.
Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican.
Great name.
Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, it's great. Keep your wives away from anyone with that name.
Consummate stickman. Now, he's a little older now, too, but, I mean, again, he's one of these people. He had a run, beautiful run. He's going to die if he ever hears this.
How about you worked with Ed Burns? Does he count? Because he kind of settled down.
He's a married guy. I don't think that was ever his thing. I think he's a family guy. He's like a he's got Catholic guilt.
He dated Heather Graham in like her movie Apex, then went right to Christy Turlington.
Right. I didn't mean that, Heather Graham. You see, you don't have to cut that out. See, I keep that in. I keep the messy. There's things in this fucking podcast that were cut out, okay, that you're missing out on, and you can keep the Heather Graham thing. I love you. That was just a joke. It's just a fucking joke. She got to have a sense of humor. Roller Girl has a sense of humor. She's fine. So, yeah, but I wouldn't say Ed Burns is one of those guys. He's a family guy. He's like, Irish Catholic guilt, which could compare with Jewish guilt, so he's not one of those guys.
One more quick break to talk about our sponsor, NFLSundayTicket.tv. I've had Sunday Ticket for a long time. I can't even remember how long. I know I was living in Boston. I was living in Charlestown. Sunday Ticket, a life changer. The ability not just to watch every single game you want, but you can gamble on those games. You can check in on your fantasy guys. You can do whatever you want. Football pools. You need to watch every game. You need to have access to all of them. Not all of them are good, but you need to have access to all of them. And now, you don't need that satellite. You don't need that dish on your apartment building or your house or your dorm room, whatever you have. For just $49.99 a month, you can stream games using your favorite device. And if you're a college student, this is pretty good. There's an exclusive deal. You can get NFL Sunday Ticket for only $24.99 a month. $25 a month, basically. Right now, our listeners get 10% off when using the promo code RINGER. Oh, yeah. Go to NFLSundayTicket.tv and use promo code RINGER right now. It's going to be obnoxious, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm getting this. I just feel like I owe Sunday Ticket money. It's that good of a product. NFLSundayTicket.tv. And now, back to Michael Rapaport. LeBron James, do you feel any differently about him?
No.
Okay.
He's great player.
Is he in your top 3?
Of all time?
Yeah.
He's in my top 5.
I think he's 3rd for me now.
3rd best player of all time. Yeah. 1 being Jordan.
Jordan, Russell, LeBron.
Oh, God.
I just think the body of work now is unassailable. I hate it.
But I hate doing I'm not even arguing about LeBron. You're still with the Bill Russell, huh? That
he won 11
changed.
Titles in 13 years.
Yeah. Again, he was playing against Uncle Maury.
I don't care. He's the most successful team athlete of all time.
Do you know that when I was playing?
I'm not just because we're older doesn't mean he starts dropping down a list that he owned.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
No,
Bill.
it really doesn't.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. When I was playing basketball in my career, at one point my team won titles 4th grade, 5th grade, and 6th grade. Nobody's talking about it. You know why? Because it was at the YMCA league. Same thing with Bill Russell.
You can't do it that way.
How many teams were in the league? 8 teams in the NBA? This isn't even the ACC
You're
tournament.
judging it. This is what I wrote my book about.
I know,
you have
I
to
read
judge
it.
it by the era.
I got it.
How good they were in their era, because you can't compare the eras.
You want to talk
DeAndre
about...
Jordan in 1960 would have had 50 rebounds a game.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So he was an athlete who was ahead of his time.
But evolutionary Bill Russell now would have been unbelievable.
Bill Russell now wouldn't even make the D League.
In the 1960s, he was blocking like 15 blocks. He'd have 15 blocks in a game.
Now?
He just blocked 15 in like the 1968 playoffs. There's box scores where they have little write-ups, and it's like, and Bill Russell chipped in with 11 points, 30 rebounds, and 16 block shots. This is in like 1968.
Brian Scalabrine would win 4 championships in a row during that era.
All right, by this logic, then the Knicks fans can't talk about the 70 and 73 Knicks anymore. You just got to let it go. It never happened.
Why not? We won
Never
one.
happened. Let's
that was
destroy
real.
your documentary.
No.
Let's burn your documentary to the
When
ground.
the Garden was eaten, we're not burning that.
Yeah, we're burning it down.
We're not burning
if Bill
that.
Russell's not the second best player ever, then I don't want.
So you got Jordan?
Jordan Russell is unassailable, the top 2.
You got Russell over Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
Okay, and then who's 4th and 5th? In this pantheon?
In my book, Kareem was 3rd, Magic was 4th, Bird was 5th.
Right, and the book was how old now? 10 years?
The book's 2009.
Okay, so Kobe's where? 6, 7, 8?
D-Wade? I have Kobe behind Duncan.
Okay, that's all right, that's fine.
So right now, my new list would be MJ, Russell.
Oh, with the fucking Russell, man.
LeBron.
I'm going to argue
Kareem.
that. Yes.
Magic, Bird,
Isaiah?
Duncan,
Kobe.
Jerry, and Oscar. And then I think Shaq, Hakeem.
Listen,
It's like a 14-person pantheon.
Have you ever
LeBron
seen...
can't be lower than 30. He just can't.
Okay, you know your basketball.
He just
When you
can't.
wrote your book, you were deep into it. You mentioned a few times about watching tape.
Yeah.
You know...
Now it'd be a lot easier to do this.
You know a lot
Yeah.
about basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, you know a lot. Have
Thank
you
you.
ever seen footage of Oscar Robertson dribbling with his left hand? Ever? Have you? Oscar Robertson talking shit last year about Steph Curry. He, in his best game of his life, didn't do what Steph Curry did in one fucking playoff game. And I mean, have you ever seen? Is there any footage out there? I want to see footage of Oscar Robertson making a layup with his left hand. The Big O, the big hater. I want to see footage of that.
That's how they played back then, though.
But I'm saying, if he's so great,
They pound the dribble. You bodied somebody down. It was all about like positioning. And,
that's a good impression.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, for him to sit there and question, like, these players now, and they're soft, and Steph Curry, and
well,
blah,
that's
blah.
it. They're just bitter.
Bitter.
They're just bitter.
I want to see, can you use your left hand?
But guess what happens if Steph Curry's in 1967?
He scores 700 points a game?
No, he's out of the league in 4 years.
Why?
Because his ankles break down. He's done.
He wouldn't.
They
It would
can't.
be.
No, he sprains his ankle 7
Oh,
times.
you mean with the
torn
shoes?
ligaments. No, he's wearing those low-top Converse. His ankles go. He's done.
I don't.
He's done.
He could go half speed and
No.
break.
All the shit that
Who's
makes
gonna
him
guard
great.
Fucking JoJo White?
Look at all the shit he has to wear. He's wearing fucking
I know.
the thigh pad thingies.
You
He's
know
wearing
what I'm
these
saying,
things, the
though.
compressor things. He's doing Pilates. He's got somebody working on his legs.
You know what I'm saying,
In
though.
1967, he's out of the league.
Okay, how many points did Brandon Jennings average in 1968? He would fucking average 45
Yeah, he would
points
have
a
been
game.
like when Tiny Archibald was 35 a game.
Exactly. So I don't like to discredit these dudes.
I just don't like to compare errors.
Let me just ask you
I don't think
this.
it's fair.
The next
Dr.
time-
J was like, oh my God, Dr. J has revolutionized playing above the rim. There's 20 guys who jump like him now.
Right, but because of him.
Right.
But
So Russell, same thing.
All right, listen.
He made basketball vertical.
I get that. But to put him in your top 3 of actual players, obviously he's the #1 winner. He never lost a 7th game. He never lost a deciding game. I know all that. I sat down with Bob
You know what else he
Ryan.
did?
What?
You know what else he did?
What'd he do?
Wilt was the most unstoppable basketball player of all time. And all he did was fuck with Wilt's head, get in his head, twist things around, make Wilt think like he was his buddy, and Wilt took it a little easy on him. He just Jedi mind tricked him for 11 years.
I get all that, but he's
10
like
years.
DeMarcus Cousins. Wilt was light up here.
Yeah.
He was banging 3, 4, 5 cocktail waitresses at a time.
He made Wilt honestly think to himself, like, I don't want to be like Russell. All Russell cares about is winning.
Right.
I don't want to end up like that. I want to enjoy my basketball. It was kind of what MJ did to all those guys in the 90s. They were all like, I don't want to end up like this guy.
I'm not saying that he's not great and that you can't compare the eras. It's the evolution of man. I'm just saying I'm surprised for you to still say, when you say guys like Michael Jordan, Bill Russell, and LeBron.
11 and 13.
Huh?
11 and 13 titles.
11 rings.
11 rings in 13 seasons.
Right.
And they lost in 58 because he sprained his ankle.
And it'll never happen again because the league is far more competitive than it ever was. So that's why it'll never happen again.
Hey,
it's not because it'll never happen again because there's never a player who's great as Bill Russell.
Well, I think it's the same thing with cars. So, you know, we live in LA. You'll see a really nice 1966 Chevy.
Yes.
Or you see like a 63 Porsche.
Right.
You'd be like, that is unbelievable. I can't even believe that car still exists. I would kill somebody for that car. It doesn't compare technically to the cars they have now.
Right, the little space machines.
It's still a greater car. It's a more memorable car. It's fucking amazing. You could drive that car 50 years later and it's still great.
I understand, but
That's
it's different.
The logic.
I get it. But can you just do me a favor? I think I brought this up to you before. The next time, he's an older gentleman, and I say this with all due respect, the next time Bill Russell makes a public appearance.
I know, you don't like how he dresses.
No, can we shave him down so he doesn't look like he just escaped some fucking clinic somewhere? He comes up looking like a homeless guy.
Come on.
Like I love.
Come on.
No, honestly, he's gold. He's a god. Can we at least make him presentable? He always looks like
all right,
give him a haircut.
If we're going to do this, let's all stop talking about how cute Clyde Frazier's suits are.
But at least he's putting effort. Like he's coming out looking sharp.
He's a 70-year-old man.
It's Clyde. It's part of his image, but at least he's putting effort. He knows he's on TV.
Go the other way.
Fuck Bill Russell. Can you at least somebody in his camp, somebody at what the name of is the arena, the Boston Arena?
The TD Bank North Garden.
Somebody at the TD Bank something can hand him a brush and a comb and say and an electric razor and be like, you have a hair, it's hanging off your face, Bill Russell, you're going to be on camera.
NBA royalty.
I know.
You're jinxing the Knicks. Rose is going to break a bone in his foot from all this.
Don't you say that.
No, this is you're dancing on hollow ground.
Somebody should just come up to him. You know how they'll come to be like, you're going to be on camera with an electric razor and just be like, zzz, zzz, you're on TV, Bill Russell. We just... You're royalty.
He's the greatest living winner of all time. He doesn't need to shave.
And I hope he lives forever. And I know he's an older gentleman. I say this to older. It's all fun and game. You know, when you poke fun at Boston, and Boston shit, man. Motherfucker.
Did you take shit for the Deflategate thing?
I take shit for, like, Deflategate. Like, you, even when I say it too, like, your lip literally just now, when I talk about Bill Russell, like, there's a physical reaction you have. Can you replay that? Replay when his reaction to
when we did the HBO show.
Yo, you literally have a physical reaction. That's why I poke fun. I love Big Papi and his one eye and the glass eye. I have no problem with him. But the Boston people, they take their shit so seriously. When do you start the show again?
September 7th.
Do we have a first guest booked?
Yeah, we have a whole football show guest. It's going to be a whole football show. You're coming on at some point. You're in the mix for one of the first 6.
I'm ready.
Yeah, we're ready. I mean, when we get a little closer to basketball.
We caught lightning in a bottle. I mean, you should do a fantasy football sequence. Something about fantasy football, because the thing about fantasy football, it's so fucking nerd analytics. Yeah. And at the end of the day, when you're playing fantasy football, you're naked, you're in a jockstrap, I got Q-tips up my nose, ice cream in one hand, and a phone checking the stats. Like, fantasy football shouldn't be all so nerd analytics. It should be fun. So maybe we do something on fantasy, because I love it.
Maybe we should do a stickman fantasy draft.
The greatest stickman.
8 teams, see who can draft the best thing.
You get 4, you get like a 5-man roster.
I got Sinatra.
That would be good. You can put names in, and you know what's going to be interesting, like who's on the board.
Ooh, Javier Bardem. I didn't think he'd go that fast.
Right. He like people be like, well, I heard about him in Cuba in the '80s. He was,
Don Johnson.
Yeah.
Legendary. All-time legendary.
But he's slowed down. But like, I give him gold. He does what he wants.
Michael Rapaport, as always, a pleasure. You're the man.
Anytime y'all want to see me again, rewind this track right here, close your eyes, and picture me rolling.
That's it for our show. We'd like to thank Simply Safe. Remember, burglaries skyrocket over the summer. Why not protect your home? Get a massive security arsenal with glass break, entry sensors, motion sensors, everything you want. Be protected 24/7, year-round. And right now, Simply Safe is giving you an absolutely incredible offer, $100 off a package that gives you complete protection of your home. SimplySafeBill.com will get you that discount. Again, SimplySafeBill.com. And thanks again to our friends at Stamps.com. We've discussed it a million times. It sucks to go to the post office. Just use Stamps.com. Buy and print discounted U.S. postage for letters and packages from your own computer. Sign up, use my promo code BS for this special offer, 4-week trial, a $110 bonus offer that includes postage and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in BS. Stamps.com, enter BS. Thanks to SeatGeek, our presenting sponsor. Thanks to everyone at TheRinger.com. Man, is it boring right now in August, and we've been writing about all kinds of stuff to keep it a little bit exciting. More NBA than I expected, and I've been enjoying all of them. Russell Westbrook. There was a post today about Beal and John Wall and the Wizards. They're not getting along. We've had a whole bunch of basketball, and obviously a ton of football and college football. And pop culture, Frank Ocean, the VMAs coming up, a bunch of tech that's been really good. Ringer.com, check that out, and check out all of our podcast networks, including 2 Keeping It 1600 podcasts this week, because we're ramping it up right before the election. And finally, my show, Any Given Wednesday on HBO, comes back September 7th. You can check out the first 8 episodes and some bonus clips, including a Jonah Hill speed round that we put up this week on HBO Now, HBO Go, or HBO On Demand. We're putting up more stuff next week. And again, we're back on September 7th. Enjoy the weekend. We'll be back next week.